morning, everyone. Hi, welcome to Shakes for Super Busy Sisters Saturday. I'm Deb Hill. I'm your perimenopausal nutritional coach. And today we're going to be talking about hot flashes. All month we're going to be talking about hot flashes as we head into the hot weather. So I know they get worse then, but they're bad all the time. Who loves a hot flash? Nobody, right? So blood sugar is queen. That's your first tip for hot flashes. It's all based, well, it's not all based, but a lot of it depends on your blood sugar levels. As blood sugar spikes, we have more acid blood, and that creates a hotter internal temperature. So how do we avoid blood sugar spikes, which causes the hot flashes to happen? You know to avoid white sugar, and you know very well to avoid alcohol. I know that's a hard one. We finally get free. We don't have little children anymore, and we can enjoy our evenings, stay home, have a drink. Well, it's gonna adversely affect your hot flashes. So I highly recommend that you make alcohol a special treat, you know, on weekends or special parties that you go to. Make that a party drink instead of an every night affair. I know a lot of you love to have your glass of wine while you're cooking your dinner, and that's lovely, but if it is causing you to have hot flashes, you may want to rethink that and do something a little bit different. So, good morning, Doug. How are you? Let's see. There's other foods that can cause blood sugar spikes. Enough about the alcohol. Yogurt has 16 to 23 grams of sugar. Think about that for a minute. Plain yogurt has 16 grams of sugar. That's a lot of sugar in a day, or in one meal at least. So that's one thing that we want to avoid, and just find some other things to eat, okay? The yogurt's not the best food for you. Last time we talked about dairy. All dairy has something called lactose in it. That's a natural sugar, and that's one of the reasons, if you're doing glasses of regular milk in a day, you may want to rethink that too and try some other nut milks, because the amount of sugar found in the dairy is just so high it's going to spike your blood sugar. And so last week we talked about that with osteoporosis. If you want to learn more about preventing osteoporosis and whether dairy is a good choice or not, take a look at last week's Shakes for Super Busy Sisters Saturday video. And you can find that in my perimenopause holistic support very easily. I file everything in our community. Okay, so bread, pasta, crackers, cookies, and cakes. All of these contain one thing. What do you think it is? It's flour. Yes, when we take grains and we break them down into flour, grains naturally contain a lot of sugar. And as flour, it's a quick, easy flow into the blood. And so we really want to slow that down and eat our grains whole. So have oatmeal, have it that way. So let's see, other hidden sugars are condiments, pasta sauces, and of course, many of the prepared foods out there that make our lives so much easier, but really don't help us in the long run with those hot flashes. So it's not only the amount of sugar you take in, but how fast it goes into your blood sugar. I alluded to that with the flour. So here's my trick for this week, okay? The big trick for reducing the intensity and frequency of hot flashes. Are you ready for it? Fiber. Yep, it's fiber, both kinds. There's two kinds. There's soluble and insoluble. So insoluble is what we think of when we say the word fiber. We think of roughage. We think of raw fruits and vegetables. And the skins of vegetables and stuff like that. So that's one kind of roughage. And when you cook it, you still get a lot of the use out of that. So you don't just have to eat them raw to have your roughage. You can have them cooked as well. The other kind is soluble fiber. And soluble fiber is a gelatinous substance that's found in a lot of fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, and these add bulk to your food and make it easier to digest as it goes through. Also, it keeps you full longer. Both of these do keep you full longer, so you're not eating as much. You feel full. So one of the benefits of that is that it pulls out excess estrogens from the body as it goes through the digestive system. It pulls that out. You've also heard it, the soluble fiber will pull out excess cholesterol, which is really, really popular to hear about. But we don't hear about the fact that excess estrogens get pulled out. We get sort of a estrogen dominance in our later years as our progesterone naturally lowers. The estrogen tends to stay at its usual level. The first thing to go is your progesterone. So we end up with a lower progesterone estrogen balance, or harmony, I like to say. And our estrogen it's at where it's always been, but we're more sensitive to it because we don't have that progesterone to play with it anymore. So we need to actually work at slowly lowering our estrogen base. And using fiber is one of the great ways to do that. I have my favorite fibers that I use. Today we're going to just talk about it in food. There is a supplement called Heather's Tummy Fiber that is awesome. And I also have a supplement that I have that I love. And I will put it down here after we talk today. I'll put the links to those two things down here and you guys can make your decisions, what you'd like to do. Let's see. Okay, so fiber slows down the absorption rate of sugar into the blood. So it keeps you feeling energetic longer. Instead of having the spike and drop, you have the energy for a longer time. So if you get a spike and drop on a regular basis, that means while you're doing a great job getting protein in your life, you're not doing such a great job getting the fiber in your life. So whenever you have a snack or a meal, you think protein first. I also want you to add fiber in there. I look for at least, if I'm out in the world, because we're so very busy and we have to like go to Wawa or we have to stop at the grocery store, pick up something quick, you know, what I look for is at least 3 grams of fiber. If it has 3 grams of fiber, that's minimally acceptable for me as far as a snack goes. And then anything with 2 or 1, just don't even go there. Okay, you can add that in after you find your 3 grams of fiber item if you want to have that as well. But this will at least keep you having fiber throughout your day. You can't just do fiber once in the day and you're one and done, because you need to constantly have fiber in your body to be working at regulating everything, all the processes in your body. So let's see, today's smoothie. Okay, today we are having a banana blueberry smoothie. Why? Because it has a lot of the great kinds of fiber in it that are going to help you stay full longer, pull out those excess estrogens, and help reduce hot flashes. And it tastes delicious. Okay, so let's see. We're going to start with, we have a frozen banana here. And, okay. We have 1 cup of blueberries, as you can see here, cup of blueberries. Fresh. You can use frozen, but it ends up being like a ice cream at that point. And today we're using romaine. Now romaine's a stronger flavor. You think because it's lettuce, it's gonna have a lighter flavor than spinach or kale, or you've seen me use fennel, but it's not true. This is actually a stronger flavor today. But I'm using romaine because it has a lot of great fiber in it. And it's just a different one to show you. It still can be a beautiful flavor if you don't use too much of it too often. You don't have to fill the thing with tons and tons of romaine to get your benefit from your greens. And of course we're going to use some chia seed because chia seed enhances progesterone, which works in harmony with estrogen. So we want to always encourage our progesterone to grow. Or to be made, So let's see. Okay, I'm gonna use 2 tablespoons of that today, and I've taught you guys, we don't need to pull out all the spoons and everything. You have a hand, and it'll be fine. You can use it for measuring stuff. So, hey Kareem, how you doing this morning? Now I've got some coconut milk in here and a little bit of ice, just to add a little more thickness to the final product. Ice is a great way to make things a little thicker, but you can't use too much of it. It gets too watery, you know. Good morning, Bob. How you doing? All right, so we got this going. I'm gonna turn this on, and if you have any questions, feel free to throw them in there, and I'll just answer for you. Hold on a minute. Okay, so there we go. We got a nice, beautiful blue smoothie this morning. Sort of a purpley blue color. Those blueberries really have a nice color. When you use the darker greens like kale or spinach, it tends to brown up the color a little bit. So I wanted a lighter color today for you too, just for fun, because it's something different. So here we go. Here's my blueberry smoothie. It's a banana blueberry smoothie. And in fact, all my smoothies and shakes that I've ever shown you have a lot of fiber in them. And that's why I make the smoothies and shakes for you guys, because it has fiber in it and it really helps reduce hot flashes. And we want to make sure to do this all summer, because it's just gonna get hotter. This is the first summer actually that they said we haven't hit a 90-degree day yet. And it's just traditional that we hit a 90-degree day in June, and we haven't got that yet. So, well, it's still early in June. Give them time. So, but by now, usually we've had one. So it's going to be hot, and we want to stay cool. And so next week, we'll talk about the second secret that I have to kicking those hot flashes to the curb. In the meantime, don't forget to join me over in my community, Perimenopause Holistic Support. I always put the link at the bottom. I'd love to see you join me. And we have a great time finding out how we can make it through this big adventure called perimenopause. And you'll get lots of support and lots of friends over there. And you get my recipe for my delicious smoothie. That's the only place that you'll find my recipes. You have a great day, have a great weekend, and I will see you here next Saturday at 9 a.m. for your second secret to kicking those hot flashes to the curb. Take care.